Is good enough ever truly good enough? Let's see. So, welcome everyone to another Momentum Monday with me, Emily McHugh, the Supercharged Coach, and your host for today. And our topic is good enough truly good enough? Or when good enough is good enough, really? And you might like, that's an unusual topic. Well, it's an important one because many times we get lost in the process of determining when to stop, especially as business owners in business or entrepreneurs. We're never quite sure when to stop at the level of working on your product, working on your service. Is it good enough? So today I want to share with you some insights on this, and it's more like a kind of a little bit of a dialogue, if you will. So I encourage your comments, your feedback, and your thoughts. And I invite you to go back and watch last week's video where I talked about how to get unstuck in business. And some of what I'm going to share today is really related to that because many times we get stuck because we don't think what we have is good enough. We have to tweak it, we have to get it better, we have to improve it constantly, and we can come up with some kind of reason or excuse at this point why we can't go forward with something. So today I want to highlight three key things for you to consider in terms of knowing when good enough is good enough. So firstly, I'm using Notion, showcasing Notion right now for my notes. I figured, normally I write notes for my videos in Notion and then go and put it in Canva or do something else. But I'm like, I'm in Notion, I'll just stick in Notion for today. It makes it easier. And at the bottom, you will see scrolling the ticker where you can follow me on Instagram at Emily the Entrepreneur and also on YouTube at Supercharged Coach. So I invite you to do that as well. And that's where you can get the full videos for what you're watching here, especially on YouTube. Okay, so back to the discussion. When good enough is indeed good enough. So the first thing you want to do in the process is just acknowledge where you are. If you're working on a particular program, if you're working on some type of project or what have you, whatever it is you're working on, just say, okay, this is where I am in the process. What will it take for this to be truly validated by the marketplace? What will it is it minimally viable product? That's the term, minimally viable, meaning that at the stage where it is now, will someone buy this? Will they get value from it? And will they feel it's worth their while to obtain? So that could become a very subjective question to answer if you're asking yourself and you don't think it's ever good enough. So you may want to ask a potential customer or someone who would be the one to make the decision whether they would procure such a thing in the state that it's in. And I have to tell you that we all want the perfect products. We want to bring things to market that are well developed, well thought out, all the kinks are worked out. But I have you know, I'm going to share something. Do you know that the very first computer that Apple brought to the marketplace was missing a very vital component that all computers now have? Can you guess what was missing from the first Apple computer? They actually sold this product to a major computer store. Okay, the initial Apple's, like the first prototype, had no keyboard, had no computer keyboard. Okay, so you have a CPU, the computer processing unit, but how are you going to enter the data? So talk about a product that wasn't quite ready, yet they sold it. So that is my point. You have to understand, but then they had to go back, of course, and go get a keyboard attached to that computer, obviously, in order to go forward. But it didn't stop them from taking it to market. So I encourage you, where are you in the process? Where are you in the process? The second thing is you have to have some kind of commitment to just getting something done. Now, I'm talking to you from experience. I'm not sitting here talking from some soapbox like I don't know what this is all about. I live this every day because many times it can really be a challenge to get certain things done because you have so many things to do and they pile up and they're over here and they're over there and then something else is added on. So then you're like, it never gets done. So trust me, I understand. Emily knows where you are. I feel your pain and I understand. That is why I'm here to share it with you so that you understand that this is not a unique phenomenon just exclusive to your kind self. It is really more universal. However, we can't allow ourselves again to just stay there stuck and go in a circle. We need to, and again, if you want some tips on that, go look on last week's video. But let's go back to some of my notes here, right? So the second thing is, so once you acknowledge where you are in the process and just kind of be realistic about that, the next thing is, what does it take to get it done? What are the steps? And how can you do it in a way that won't cause undue stress and strain to yourself? How much more can you break it down? How much more can you refine it? And I think a really great tip is, what is the point where you stop feeling overwhelmed? What will it take for the overwhelm to diminish? And that's a really important question to ask yourself. Like, if I had this done, or this could be done, or what have you, or this was in place, or the other thing was in place, I would not feel so stressed. I would feel as if I indeed could get it done. Then that takes us to the third point of getting some help. If I got some help, would I be able to get it done faster? If I got some help, would I be able to, move along at a pace that would make this actually work? So the key is to remember that you're not trapped, you're not stuck. You don't want to feel like there's no option here. There's nothing to help you move through where you are. And the when good enough is what is the basic level of something that you can bring to the marketplace or put online or put out there. You can refine it later. You can add to it later, but you can at least start. Can you just have a checkout page where you can sell a product instead of a whole full-blown website? Can you just have, a simple landing page to collect emails instead of having some, again, big old homepage? So you want to think about how can you do things more simply that are still good enough and can give you a great effect. It's so incredible the ways in which we can simplify. I'll share another example. Many years ago, when I used to do trade shows with my sister, we would do trade shows all over the country with our Kasori bags and products. So we were always displaying our products. And the absolute best displays we ever did was when we used simple cardboard boxes to display our products. We would go to the Container Store or to whatever store was nearby the venue where we were exhibiting. We would buy white cardboard boxes and set them up really nicely. They would look really nice in the booth, and put our boxes in there, our bags in there. And when we were done, we left them. We left them behind. We were done. We didn't have to pack them. We didn't have to carry them. And they're relatively inexpensive. So it was good enough. And then there were other times we bought these fancy displays and all this shipping and all this foolishness, when good enough was the white cardboard box. We didn't sell any more or less with a fancier display. So think of the minimally viable option, people. I encourage you, and as you grow and you get bigger, you can do other things. But we want to keep it simple and nimble and tight. Okay? So think about that when good enough is good enough. These are some examples I shared with you. Go back and listen to this again. Okay, listen to this again, because I don't want you to miss a tip. I don't want you to not quite capture. You'll see down there Supercharged Coach on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Go watch the full video. If you catch a snippet here or there somewhere else, go watch the full video. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on the podcast, people, don't say no one ever told you, because Emily is here telling you just that. Now, let me share with you what's going to be going on for this month of May, everybody. Hold on. I haven't even used one single piece of, what is this? Not one single sound effects was used yet. Good grief. I'm forgetting my whole Ecamm vibe. That is no good. This is no good. Let me use another one. All right. So let me share with you, in the vein of our discussion tonight about when good enough is good enough, to keep us moving, to get us unstuck, to acknowledge where we are, to get the job done, and to get the help you need, we're launching the May Supercharged Challenge. Now, I use the word challenge cautiously because I don't want to give you another challenge. I don't want to give you more to do or something to do that's going to like be burdensome. But I'm giving it that name for now, unless I end up coming up with another one, just to encapsulate the essence of what we're trying to do. And this is all about sharing the journey. Each day, wow, for the month of May, I am going to present myself, whether it's a video, whether it's just a post. I'm not committing to like the format. It can be any which way I end up showing up that day. But I am going to share a part of my journey, building the membership, the Supercharge Club, building other memberships, doing other projects, working on all my stuff, my violin, my whatever, all these things. Because to share with you, sometimes people think that you just show up and everything is just there. Okay, there is a process to everything, there's a struggle too to everything. And when we understand the journeys that people are on, we're better able to maybe see ourselves, see opportunities for our own selves. Sometimes we're better able to envision a solution as you see someone work through what they're doing. So I thought it would be, at first I thought, I'm like, who's really going to be interested in that? People are caught up in their own thing. But I think it's extremely valuable because for me, I'm always interested in the journey someone else is on to get to a certain place, because it lets you know what it actually takes to do. And I think that's as important a part of the process as just like presenting a result or presenting something finished. You show the journey so that people can connect with it and they can see their way clear, like, oh, that person is having that challenge, so I'm not alone with this, and it can be overcome. Okay, so that's the purpose of it. So now let me just give you a little quick overview of what we're going to do in the May Supercharged Challenge, and it's all about being supercharged. Okay, so I want you to stay tuned because I have our Mindset Minute where I'm going to tell you some secrets, so don't go anywhere. Okay, so what we're going to do basically in the May Supercharged Challenge about sharing the journey is daily posts on the journey, as I mentioned, and it's about accountability. I want to be accountable to you, my community, you guys who are my Facebook friends or Facebook connections or members of my memberships, on my Instagram family, different communities that I'm a part of. It is an accountability. And I invite you to share aspects of your journey as well. So as I share mine, you may want to share some of yours, or you may just want to engage with what I'm sharing. And why am I doing this? It's small steps being taken towards goals, towards bigger goals. It's April still. It'll soon be May. Then it will be June. Then it'll be July. And you know how the year just frolics along. And are we making the progress we want towards certain goals? Do you even have the clarity on your goals? And if not, it's fine. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here, because we want to get these things addressed. And then ultimately, it's encouragement that you're not alone on this journey. You're not by yourself. You can have some buddies here who can be a part of the journey with you. So I'm making this open up to the wider community, not just in my club and in my Supercharged Club. And we do meet this Thursday coming up. The what is it going to be? The second of May. May will be here, whether you're ready or not. It's on the doorstep, about to knock on the door. And so it is inviting people to really connect in a way to know that it's time to not just watch other people's posts all day long. It's time to engage on a different level, more of a communication on how it helps you as someone who's sharing on their side, and how you can share on your side, or how it's a mutually beneficial interchange. That's really the idea. So I want to encourage you to think about, you don't have to necessarily be an entrepreneur or necessarily in business, but if you are, that's the kind of primary focus. But if you're working towards a specific project or objective or goal, and you're like, I really could use some accountability for this. You could be running a marathon. I don't know. You could be training for some kind of event and you would love to have some accountability along the way. That's what this opportunity is for. And if you want extra special accountability plus more attention to what you're doing, I encourage you to check out the Supercharge Club or the Supercharge CEO. And if you're interested in visiting the Supercharge Club just to see what it's like, see if you like it or want to join, I invite you to have a complimentary visit. So just send me a DM if you want to come and join us this Thursday. Let me know. And also for members of the Supercharge Club, if you want to invite someone to visit, you want to show them, introduce them to this accountability group for entrepreneurs, really to support the journey when you're overwhelmed by all the steps there are to take in business, knowing that if you follow certain processes, you will get where you need to get, maybe faster, and with that accountability, that encouragement that comes from being with others who are also on the journey. So I'm just opening up the bigger spectrum through this Supercharged Challenge in general, through my regular socials, and as well within my club. Okay, that's what I want to share with you on that. Yes, let's see. So, you ready for the Mindset Minute? Okay. Yes, I think it's time for the Mindset Minute. We should actually have a little song for Mindset Minute, but we'll just deal with the bicycle horn we'll have to do. Okay. So today's Mindset Minute is all about our topic, good enough. When is good enough good enough? Okay? Sometimes we use the excuse that we're not ready. It's not as good as somebody else's. It could be better. I don't have it just the way I want it. Oh, I need one more certification and then I can offer this service. Oh, and the list goes on and it gets longer and longer and longer. And we get to the point where it's so not ever good enough that it's never ever good and it never gets done. And that becomes a problem. So ask yourself this question to reverse the cycle. Would someone actually take this as it is? Let me try it. Let me test it in the marketplace. If someone says yes, then guess what? It's ready. It's good enough for now. You can always work on it. You can always get better, but get it out there. That's what you got to do. That's what you have to do in today's Mindset Minute, people. Do not delay. Get your product to market. Don't make any excuses for yourself. Move it along, okay? Move it along. So please, I invite you to, if you haven't subscribed, you know you need to do that. That is like, you know that already. And like the post, tell your friend to tell a friend and all that kind of a thing, because it's really important that people get these messages and they don't get stuck in their heads wondering what they should be doing next, second, or third. Okay, well, I hope this has been a very helpful Momentum Monday for you. I wish you positive momentum into the rest of your week. Stay supercharged, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Joey.